The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my body. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering my name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright guys, I don't know where my co-host has gone, so yeah, hopefully he'll turn up, or I'm gonna wing it. Yes, I'm a flying raccoon. Alright, let's jump into it. So I know I said I wasn't going to do any live shows, but I missed you guys, and my internet seems somewhat stable right now, so I don't know, let's wing it, we'll see how we go. Fuck it! We'll do it live. Let's jump straight into it. CNN and MSNBC ignored Alexandria Cortez's alleged FEC violation. Imagine my shock. Imagine my surprise. Neither CNN nor MSNBC thought their TV programs and channels have covered accusations against Democrat New York Republican AOC for violating campaign finance laws as of early Wednesday morning. Why are you not talking about this? I don't know, I wonder. The National Legal and Policy Center filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission, FEC, earlier this week, alleging Alexandria Cortez and something or other, her chief staff illegally funneled nearly $1 million, I believe it was $885,000, in contributions from political action committees, PACs, to private companies, while the latter controlled both. It's nothing like giving yourself $885,000, is there? They're also accused of obtaining majority control of a PAC prior to the primary, despite her not disclosing it. Failing to disclose their control over the Justice Democrat PAC while it supports her primary campaign could result in massive campaign finance violations, as reported by the Daily Caller News Foundation earlier this week, which spoke to former FEC officials. Look, at the end of the day, I'm surprised mainstream media isn't talking about this. I thought they would have gone after her. I'm surprised by that, but at the end of the day, it's not totally surprising. She is a Democrat. She's the right colour. She's just... I'm talking politically here, guys. Don't get any wrong ideas. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, she is the right colour. She's blue, and she also has that minority status too. So look, at the end of the day, yeah, I would say they probably haven't gone after her because of that, but I don't know. Lately, they've seemed to have gone, so I'm a little, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this whole anti-Alexandria Cortez thing is a bit of a ruse. Maybe they're secretly cheering her on while thinking that they can take shots at her to sort of maybe build up her character or something, like what they did with Trump. I got no idea. Apart from that, I'm not surprised that mainstream media is not reporting about this. Yeah, I'm really not surprised at all. I would have been surprised if they had of, especially her being a Democrat. Now, if we know if had it been a Republican that had done this, holy shit, we would never have heard anything more about it for less than a week. So it's kind of weird how that always works out, isn't it? But yeah, as for this, look, yeah, I don't know, not really that surprised. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Apart from that, let's jump into the next one. Linda Sarsour refused to acknowledge Israel's right to exist. Women's March co-leader Linda Sarsour on Wednesday refused to respond when asked if Israel had the right to exist after promising to answer the question following a Washington D.C. rally in support of Representative Ilhan, who is under fire for repeated anti-Semitism remarks. In the exclusive footage coverage captured by Breitbart News, videographer Matthew Purdy confronts Sarsour on whether she believes the Jewish state in the Middle East, sole democracy has the right to exist. Quote, "We'll answer that question later after the press conference," Sarsour responded, adding, "I'll be happy to answer that." In a subsequent clip, Sarsour and her entourage began walking away from the pro-Omar event held near the US Supreme Court almost immediately after her remarks, refusing to acknowledge Purdy as he repeats his question about Israel. An associate then physically blocks Purdy from approaching the activists. Several men began pushing the videographer and peppering him with questions on why he would attend the pro-Omar event, if he receives compensation from Israel. Why are you here? One asked him repeatedly. Do you work for Israel? The man asks before inquiring how much the videographer is paid. Footage of the testy encounter ends with Purdy noting that Sarsour declined to answer the question despite saying she would oblige. Earlier Wednesday, the Middle Eastern Women's Coalition held a separate event on Capitol Hill demanding from Omar's resignation. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not surprised she dodged the question. I'm not surprised she kind of blew it off. I literally have no idea. So look, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm not surprised that she blew it off. To be honest, she doesn't want to answer it, because if she does, she's going to piss off a whole bunch of Muslims by saying it has a right to exist. If she says it doesn't have a right to exist, then she comes off as an anti-Semitic. Look, whether you believe it has a right to exist or not, I personally find it very, very funny that the Democrats are being pushed on this whole anti-Semitic thing. That to me in itself is hilarious, and that it's worth its weight in gold. 7 Graham says in chat, I literally have no idea what MSN is reporting. That's why I watch you. You do the painful work. Ah, thanks, 7. Yeah, I do the painful work of sitting through all the news, and it's kind of painful sometimes. By the way, guys, also, if you haven't seen my video from earlier today, we also put up another video where we were talking about Joe Rogan. We were talking about Twitter, Jack Dorsey, the banning of Alex Jones. It goes for about half an hour, so you get a double upload, to quote the quartering. So yeah, after this video, not now, after. All right, I need all the views. But yeah, after, go check it out, because we actually, it's quite interesting. Looks like Jack Dorsey's team might have lied regarding the banning of Alex Jones. So check that out after this video's done. Thanks, Greg. How are you guys? I love you guys. This is why I missed the live streaming, because I missed the interaction. I'm a sociable red panda, aren't I? But anyway, let's keep going. Look, at the end of the day, as for this, look, I'm not surprised that she's dodging the question. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't expect her to answer it. So yeah, like I say, I'm not surprised, to be honest. A woman from the Muslim community being anti-Semitic against the Jews, that's not like it's regularly heard of or anything like that. But yeah, like I say, whether you believe in Israel or believe it has a right to exist, or this whole Palestine-Israel thing, I find it, personally, I just find it funny that the Democrats are being pushed on being racist. That to me is, like I said, worth its weight in gold. But let's keep going. Watch live resignation rally against Democrat Representative Ilhan. Middle Eastern Women's Coalition is on Capitol Hill Wednesday to call for the resignation of Congresswoman Ilhan. Allah has come under criticism for anti-Semitic remarks in recent weeks, promoting House Democrats to organize a formal condemnation of anti-Semitism. The vote was expected to take place Wednesday, but now appears to be delayed. Funny how that works. According to press release, speakers will include special guest Martha Bennett, Rabia Kazan, president of the Middle Eastern Women's Coalition, George Cayley, a co-founder of the Tea Party, Marilyn Mastranin, I'm getting that name wrong. She is the minister of 35 years and executive director at the Middle Eastern Women's Coalition. So yeah, basically, we came to this country because of the freedoms and the rights offered to all citizens, regardless of gender, under the U.S. Constitution, states, and the press release. We are proud to be American citizens, but we recognize the millions of women in the Middle East that do not enjoy these freedoms and are forced to live under these fundamental and repressive religious regimes. $10 if you can guess who organised it. Joke. Not really. It's obvious. But yeah, Pelosi has to remove Omar from Foreign Affairs Committee. So House Majority Whip Steve Scalise said Tuesday that Speaker Nancy Pelosi should strip Minnesota Representative Ilhan of her seat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. In an interview with Fox News, Omar has been accused recently of pushing anti-Semitic tropes. The House Democrat leaders plan on bringing the resolution condemning anti-Semitism to the floor Wednesday, presumably because of the backlash Allah has faced, which we now since know has been delayed. The text of the resolution reportedly does not mention her by name. Omar has received backlash for several comments relating to Israel. She recently shared her sentiments regarding Israel-Palestine conflict and the dual loyalty she feels like members of Congress and have over Israel over the weekend. Many of her colleagues, including some on the Foreign Affairs Committee with her, have condemned her statements. And which is yet another embarrassing blunder for the Democrats. Obviously, Nancy Pelosi defends Omar not intentionally anti-Semitic, like that would ever stop them from going through and dragging a Republican for doing, but regardless. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi defended Representative Ilhan on Wednesday, telling reporters that while Omar may have made anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish remarks in recent weeks, she had not been intentionally anti-Semitic. When was the last time the media tried to use this sort of mental gymnastics to stick up for a Republican, I wonder? Probably never. But anyway, Pelosi remarks were reported by Jack Sherman of Politico after a meeting of the House Democrats erupted into a full-scale brawl over disagreements about resolution condemning anti-Semitism. According to the Washington Post, Pelosi had planned a vote on the resolution Wednesday, but party leaders postponed even a watered-down version after some members objected. Democrat Party leaders could not say if or when a vote would happen. Pelosi contended that Omar had not been intentionally anti-Semitic, contradicts a recent timeline of events which suggests that Omar was well aware that the comments with both Israel were perceived to have crossed the critical line. So there's a list of her tweets and posts there. Oh, she's made more than I've thought of. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 of them? More than I thought. I thought she only made about 3 or 4. But anyway. It's funny how the Democrats are jumping through hoops, trying to get her, or trying to save her ass, if you want to use for like a better word. But yeah, I find it funny that Nancy Pelosi. And look, at the end of the day, we know what this is going. We know what's going to happen with this, right? Nancy Pelosi is going to want something in the future, and at the moment, she's only sticking up for Omar or whatever her name is because at the end of the day, it's going to be in her best interest at a later date. Later down the drain, or later down the line, sorry, Nancy Pelosi is going to come on collecting, and that Omar or O'Hara, or whatever her name is going to have to end up signing something that she probably would not want. You know, next time, you know, they challenge Nancy Pelosi on who's the Speaker of the House, for example. It's going to be something like Nancy Pelosi going up and saying, remember when I saved your ass because people were accusing you of being anti-Semitic? Well, time to pay up, sister. And that's what she wants. And that's what she'll be doing right about now, in my opinion. She'll be going through and literally using this situation to, quote, save her ass so that she can repay her later down the line for whatever Nancy Pelosi might want. Who knows? Might even be a kidney. Who knows at this stage? It's the Democrats. I wouldn't be surprised. But look, at the end of the day, Roseanne Barr, Christine Pelosi forward, should be in prison. Woof, Roseanne, you're in the headlines again. So, she should be in prison, said Roseanne Barr of Christine Pelosi forward in Sunday's published interview with Candace Owens on Owens' inaugural and employment show. I didn't even know she had a show. But yeah, interesting. 7 grams. God, your name is really confusing. You do know that, don't you? Nancy wants AOC brand power, not her opinion. You reckon she might be trying to save this girl so that she comes off as a hero, maybe? Maybe. Possible. That's a good idea too, actually. Could be that. She could be after a new kidney too. Who knows? It's Nancy Pelosi. She's getting pretty old. She's going to need a kidney sooner or later. All right. Both Barr and Owens agreed that Ford made false accusations against the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Just call me 7. Okay, 7. Just call me your little red ferret or panda. While discussing feminism and the Me Too campaign, both Barr and Owens recalled the murder of Emmett Till on the basis of base level accusations of sexual harassment, while reflecting on Ford's accusations against Kavanaugh. So Owens said, "I'd just like to see what's going on at that crazy leftist protest and just watch them be hypocritical, pretending to champion minority rights. Obviously, there's just something striking about this leftist protest. They're always at the middle-aged white people. They're all talking about issues for minorities. Where the hell are the minorities when you're talking about issues for minorities?" But said, "I know they're nowhere near them." I think I just had my co-host. No. All right. I had a beep in my ears. Ellen said they're nowhere near them. They're at work because it's Monday morning and it's 8 a.m. It's white privilege right there. If you can be here at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Monday yelling in a pussy white hat, you may be embodying the mythological white privilege that you talk about all the time. The Democrats of these movements are always unbelievably interesting. The radical feminist movement, the Women's March, it's like miserable, overweight, middle-aged women who are just not happy with their lives. I did hear my co-host. Hello, co-host. They can't hear you. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Have I missed much today?
Nah, you've missed about 3 stories. Not much.
Oh, okay.
I found my co-host, everybody. We can stop looking for him. Now, let me switch over to news. My internet's been somewhat stable today. So, yeah, I don't know. I did an upgrade on OBS and I rebooted my my router. I did the firmware update. So maybe that's done something. I don't know.
So we're actually live right now.
Yeah, we're live. Say hi to everybody.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Hey.
I suspect the usual suspects would be in the chat. 7 Graham.
Yep.
Etc.
Greg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Greg. Hey, how you guys going?
So yeah, you haven't really missed much. CNN reportedly didn't report or doesn't report on AOC's campaign alleged violations. Linda Sarsour refuses to acknowledge the right of Israel to exist. And now we're talking about the Democrats sticking up for Ilhan Mahar. And apparently Candace Owens has her own show. I didn't even know Candace had a show.
Oh, well, yeah, me neither.
No, yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
we're going to talk later about. I think there's a big story that we have.
Oh, you want to talk about? Yeah, if you want to bring it up towards the end. Hang on. Okay, so is this the Alex Jones banning on Joe Rogan?
Alex Jones banning on Joe Rogan. No, I didn't know about that one.
So okay, so you know Joe Rogan had Jack Dorsey on Jack Dorsey's Twitters on his show yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, and okay, and I'm going to do another plug for myself. I uploaded a video earlier today where I think I actually caught Jack Dorsey and his lackey actually lying in regards to Alex Jones or misrepresenting the truth.
Yes. I think I know what it is, and I won't do the spoiler.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is that what you're talking about, or is there another story I'm missing?
Well, no, I thought we were going to talk about it in general, but hey, if you found something juicy, let's laser focus on that.
Yeah, I was going to say that video that was actually up earlier today, about 4 hours ago for everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think I titled it "Did Jack Dorsey and insert her name here misrepresent Alex Jones" or something like that. It's on the channel, guys. But yeah, it goes for about half an hour. We actually break it all down and I present all the facts, and yeah, it's getting fairly well received with the people that it's got 10 upvotes or 10 people liked it and no people disliked it. So there's that, you know.
That's a really good ratio there, yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 0, yeah. But anyway, we should probably keep going. By the way, Seven says there's no buffering tonight. It's nice. So I don't know. Maybe maybe that firmware update did something. I don't know.
Yay.
Maybe I don't know.
I thought there was a major conspiracy the other night because I started streaming after we did a test where you appeared on my channel, and then my channel was constantly doing buffering, but OBS was not reporting any drop frames. It was constantly refreshing for me. I even tried it on my phone and it was doing it. But then last night, everything's back to normal, so
yeah,
I have no idea what happened.
I got no idea either, man, to be honest.
Well, I thought it was your voice on my channel broke my channel.
Oh, hey, what are you saying?
I'm saying that they've got an AI looking for you.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, I thought you were saying
streams.
that I thought you were saying my voice was that shocking that it broke your internet.
No, I mean as in YouTube looks for your voice in the AI.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just doing. But anyway, as for Roseanne Barr and Christine Blasey Ford, look, I actually tend to agree with Candace Owens and Roseanne Barr. I think both Christina should be investigated. Look, at the end of the day, if she has lied under oath, then yeah, that's criminal. That's lock her up. I don't know. I'm sick of these people lying to Congress and seemingly get away with it. Yeah, you know, like when Paul Manafort or someone does it, and not justifying it, of course. I think, you know, Paul deserves what he's going to get. But if at the end of the day, if you or Michael Cohen, for example, if you go through and you lie to Congress and the Trump team gets, jail time, But then Christine Belsey Forward gets nothing, and she's lied to Congress. Well, that is a clear base of bias. I don't know, but your thoughts?
Yeah, politicians seemingly get special treatment.
Yeah, but Christina Belsey Forward isn't a politician. It's not even that. It's more the fact that, you know, she has the right political views, or she's on the right team.
More than that, she was used as a poster child for the Democrats. So I suppose she would. Yeah, she's taken under the wing of the deep state, you know. So she gets special treatment, I guess. But no, I mean, like any other normal person, yeah, they get hung.
Oh, Greg, that's a little spicy there. He's asking, should Besley Ford go to a men's prison or a woman's?
Oh boy.
Well, I don't know. I think she's fairly safe in either of them, wouldn't she? I don't know.
Oof. Damn. Feel that burn.
Let's keep going. Ex-MI6 chief says, no deal Brexit, far better than Theresa May offering. I get worried when ex-MI agents speak out because I'm like, yeah, deep state. The former head of the MI6 and dozens of senior academics have said no deal Brexit would be far better than Britain for Theresa May's disastrous deal. Sir Richard D. Lover said that there would be no tangible benefits from a Brexit conducted under Miss May's deal, which would merely prolong the agony. In a letter to the Daily Telegraph, he is joined by 38 academics and business leaders who say that a no-deal Brexit would offer immediate opportunities. It came as a governor of the Bank of England admitted his previous predictions of the impact of the no deal had been too gloomy. Imagine my shock. Once again, someone going on about doom and gloom about some sort of event has had to retract a statement. Are you surprised?
No, you can't just go around saying the world's going to end tomorrow.
Oh, Democrats like doing that.
Well, yeah, they do, I suppose, a little bit. I think they call it fear porn.
True. Which is actually kind of, speaking of Brexit, Theresa May's gamble has backfired. Her MPs would sooner extend Brexit than accept her lawful deal. So, the original Star Chamber was a courtroom in the Old Palace of Westminster whose ceiling was emblazoned with golden stars on a background of leptis blue. There in the 16th to 17th century gathered the most powerful jurors in the land, ostensibly to ensure the fair application of the law to predominant personages whose powers might otherwise have intimidated law courts. Began life with the intention... Why are they going on about this shit? Just get to the topic, will ya? Which obviously I can't...
Whataboutism.
Yeah. Like, just get to the topic. And I can't read the rest of it because it's hidden behind a subscribe.
I mean, that's why they did that.
Maybe.
So that they fluff out the top so that it pushes the juicy part down behind the paywall.
Maybe. Greg says in chat, the Dems have to keep their base in fear. Victims. True. But the thing with that, though, Greg, is at the end of the day, they keep having to ramp it up. And at the end of the day, they are going to get to a point where, because people get used to living in that fear. And it's sort of like it's a boiling pot, right? For example, say you boil it, you turn it on level 1, and then people get used to level 1. So then you have to bump it up to level 2. It gets to a point where they just get ridiculous, and people aren't going to believe it anymore. And then the water's going to get cold. Very, very cold towards the Democrats. But anyway. Illegal immigration under Trump projected to surpass Obama era levels. I wonder why there's a whole bunch of migrants all of a sudden running to America. It's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was organized with the caravans.
Well, it's not just that, but it's also showing how America is a great place to go. Supposedly, yet the Democrats think it's a shithole. President Trump is projected to oversee the largest flow of illegal immigration at the United States-Mexico border since former President Bush's administration, surpassing every year of crossing under former President Obama. As Breitbart News reported, more than 76,000 border crossers attempted to enter the US in the month of February, the most apprehensive of legal border crossers and migrants in this month in 12 years. While Trump administration expanded the catch and release program last month, and Department of Homeland Security DHS Secretary Christine Nelson focuses her attention on cybersecurity and terrorism issues, because, you know, that's important. Well, I suppose it is, but still. The US is projected to see a level of illegal immigration this year that will surpass every year of illegal immigration under Obama. Now, at the end of the day, the Princeton Policy Advisors researched Stephen Kupitz estimated that there will be about 775,000 illegal borders crossing this year when the last month's border crossing data is analysed. This would indicate that Trump's overseeing of the crisis at the southern border wall would reach Bush-era levels of mass immigration, illegal immigration, where in many years more illegal border crossings occurred in a single year. In the past, Kupit has projected that there would be about 606,000 border crossings this year, the most illegal immigrants ever since the financial year of 2008, when Bush was still in office. Is it any surprise that ever since Trump has been in power, or since now Trump is in power, since now another Republican is in power, we are yet having more illegal aliens crossing, or legal immigrants crossing the border than, and the last time this happened was yet when another Republican was in power.
No,
it seems it seems like when there's a Republican in power, illegal immigrants seem to flood to the US. Weird, that, isn't it? Thoughts?
Republicans. Oh, I know what. Oh, yes, I have thoughts. The Democrats freak out and they do something through the shadow state, the shadow government, to get the country flooded.
Well, we know
because it's probably not. Well, it's not the Republicans causing it.
No, of course not. No. But what I was going to say is, yeah, I think you're right. I think that the Democrats organise these illegal caravans that come up from Mexico and all these sort of places. They're organised, right?
Oh,
we literally have...
absolutely.
Yeah, we literally have these groups, these caravans and everything coming up, and we have people with them who are organising, who are handing out food, who are telling them how to get to places, where to go, etc., etc., etc. So they're organised. Now, my theory would be that if the Democrats had lost the election, like they did with Trump, do you think it's possible that they might be going down to these places to encourage immigration, because 80% of these immigrants will be voting for the Democrats? So they're thinking, shit, we just lost the last election, we're at chances of losing another election, we need more voters to vote for us. I know what. Let's go to the border, let's go down to Mexico, let's go down to Guatemala or all these sort of places. We'll lead these people up over the border, we'll get them to come into America, and the only deal is they have to vote Democrat when they go through and they become Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, something interesting I might mention. One of the organizations where the caravan came from, there's the two major caravans.
Yeah.
It's a Spanish name, and I know Spanish. It was something like Comunidades Sin Fronteras, something like that, which means communities without borders. So like frontier. Frontera means frontier, though. So I just translated to a more something people would probably get it in English. Just meaning like there's no frontier to it. It's frontierless. So it means So basically borderless societies.
Is that the
now
name
this
of
organization?
Is that the name of the company that's organizing it?
Yeah, and it's getting assistance from you know who.
Yeah, we know these are George Soros funded in some form or another. Yeah, I'm not afraid to call him out. It's George Soros funded.
Yeah. If the channel gets deleted, it's my fault.
This is why we get demonetized, people. And this is why I'm probably the most censored person in the world.
Yeah. I won't say it, but he will.
Yeah, fucking I will. I can't even do an interview on radio without my phone call dropping out amazingly 4 out of 4 times lately. That's getting really weird.
Well, I think you have a little ways to go to become the most censored man on the internet. Yeah. I won't say his name.
Oh, you're talking about Weave?
Yeah, No, I'm talking about the other guy.
No, Weave's pretty censored.
Oh, well, yeah, Weave is pretty censored, but I don't want to say his name. He's that far right guy. He runs that website.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, I was being a little hyperbolic. When I said,
So these little organizations, and there's more than one. There's Sociedades Sin Frontera. Then you have there's quite a few actually, and this is really cool. So I was able to also watch some Spanish news channels. So on YouTube there are some live streams that go from maybe 40 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And they're actually just re-streaming TV channels like in Cuba, Venezuelan ones, and so on. There's one called Horas 24, Horas like that. So it's the other way around, Spanish. 24-hour news. And I was actually just listening and watching what they're saying about this whole thing in the caravans. And they're talking in Spanish, but I can understand it.
Yeah.
And they do mention that there's a lot of unrest within their country caused by these. Basically, there's these organizations running around, basically just stirring up shit. And what they're doing is they're trying to get them to leave the country because of the current regime that's currently in power. Now, the thing is that one of the things is that the country seems fine. It's just that shit hits the fan when all of these propaganda start boiling up in the country about how horrible the government is.
Yeah.
Which is really odd. It's like people seem to respond to being told that their country is terrible rather than actually looking at the country and going, is it terrible?
You're saying they're all NPCs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they get promised this whole new life in America. These organizations say you can go to America. You can go there, right? The people in the caravan have actually said in Spanish, so you have to understand Spanish to watch these things, but they say that we're going to go to America to start a new life. They think they can just walk in. Who's telling them that? Because that's not the truth. The truth is you can't just walk into America.
Yeah, well, obviously, at the end of the day, we know who's telling them that. It's his name starts with G, and he's a Nazi.
But what's even worse is the people on the ground doing it. Like, if you watch some of the videos, and you don't have to know Spanish to notice this, if you just watch coverage of the caravan while they're just walking along for a 2-hour live stream where they're just walking along, and you'll notice that a lot of the aid workers are just white women.
Yeah.
And these people know the truth. Or, I mean, they must know the truth.
Of course.
And they're
supporting them
along the caravan.
Yeah, but these are brainlets that have been brainwashed by George Soros's school for the communists. They think they're doing the best thing here, helping people out. It's their job, it's their life, it's their goal to get people to flood to America and to save them and all this sort of shit. Of course these people know what's going on. They're the ones willingly doing it.
Yeah, and they tried it with Australia.
Yeah.
And at the time, I guess we're lucky at the time we had Tony Abbott, because he wasn't having a bar of it.
No.
And we just ended up, locking them up on some other small country.
Yeah,
but
I'm all for increasing the psych population of Australia, so that when these guys try and come over here on the boats and the boats sink, but they get eaten. I think that'll save a lot of efforts and a lot of problems.
Yeah, Australia did not have a bar of it at the time. We do have some crises going on a little bit, but now it's more a different type of thing. We're doing it legally now. So
yeah, but we should probably keep going on because we've still got like halfway through the news to go.
Okay.
And I've got to get up, and I've got to go to work later this afternoon. Early this afternoon actually. So the most nostalgic generation reaches its logical conclusion with autosexuality. This is not a joke. This is a real thing.
So, like, auto in front of something usually means, like, it's a sickness.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, like, it's a sexuality. For example, for example, homosexual is when you're gay, and heterosexual is when you're straight, and yeah. So in this case, it's autosexuality. I'm not making this up, people. This is the new generation. But let's jump into it, and we'll make sure we firmly commit suicide in game, because this is just really way out there. But let's jump into it. For those who don't think the world has gone mad enough, with anti-science bullies demanding we embrace madness of accepting biological men as women, let me welcome you to the world of autosexuality. One of my favourites, Woody Allen's joke is, "Hey, don't knock masturbation, it's sex with someone I love." Well, you might want to hold tight to your copy of Annie Hall, because ridiculous self-love is about to become as verbigenous as a copy of Dude, She Looks Like a Lady, because self-love is now a thing. A real thing. Another one of those things that we're going to be forced to accept as normal, or as not as a sign of some kind of mental illness, or heaven forbid, cry bullies, narcissism. Okay, so it's not what I thought. When I heard autosexuality, I thought it was in love with cars.
Oh, no. In a medical terminology, and I was right thinking, so as a sickness, autoimmune is when the immune attacks the self, for example.
Yeah.
So in autosexuality, it would be sexual to the self.
So people love themselves too much.
Yeah, I watch a bit too much Chubby Emu. Anyway, moving on.
I don't know what Chubby Emu is. Should I be looking at this? Or what?
It's a YouTube channel, and he does stories about medical stuff, and I've learnt a lot of the terminology because he always explains it all for the layman.
Okay. So what is being autosexual? It's when you're attracted to yourself, the headline reads. The answer is it can mean turning on by your own body, looking at nudity, getting butterflies when you think about yourself, being excited to spend time alone, and masturbating to the idea of yourself. It's the feeling we get for a potential new suitor, but for ourselves. Okay, so when I'm laying in bed and I see myself in the mirror, my first reaction is, Jesus Christ, I've got a white ass, followed by, ew! I don't tend to get aroused over myself. Am I Like, well, I don't want to speak for you because, you know. But I was going to say, are you
all that happens with myself is in the mirror is just I just marvel at just how long it is. I'm just like, wow.
Okay. He's got one of those funny mirrors, people, that tends to make things look bigger than they really are. But what I was going to say was, yeah, objects in this mirror may appear bigger than, yeah. But I was going to say, but at the end of the day, but all jokes aside, and, you know, we shouldn't be joking about this because it is a mental condition. This is people literally loving themselves, right?
It's okay to... The thing is it's okay to be comfortable with oneself and even possibly love oneself, but not in this way. It's to do with self-esteem. Yeah. This is self-esteem.
This is kind of wrong. This is...
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along. I don't know what to say about this. We have examples.
We've heard the stories of people marrying themselves, right? You've heard of these.
Yeah, but they're freaking weird, right? These. Please tell me this is an outlier. Please tell me at the end of the day
from there,
these... Hang on.
It's great.
But hang on. Let me finish. Before we go, please tell me that these are outlying cases. Please tell me this is not going to be the new norm. Because I really don't want to have to see people matching with themselves on Tinder. Like, is that what we're getting to now? People uploading themselves on a fake account so they can swipe right on each other or some shit. Is that where we're heading? Like, this is fucking weird.
Well, I don't know. 10 years ago, it was tree huggers that we were concerned about. You've heard of the ecosexuals, right?
Yeah, that's people that love nature a little bit too much.
Yeah, they'll go and scissor trees and shit or something. I don't know what the bloody hell they do.
Yeah. I'm waiting to. Well, actually, it's actually happened. I was going to say I was waiting for a report. I'm waiting for one of these ecosexuals guys to go and stick his dick in an ant hole and then change his mind. But apparently, someone has actually done that. Yeah. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do. But what I was going to say was, but like at the end of the day, but what is this predominantly affecting men or women?
I don't know, but I will crack a joke and say the ants did not accept a new member.
Oh my god! Somebody stop him, please. But it didn't. Yeah, I'm going to start adding sound effects, and every time Satellite tells a bad joke, it's going to be a chick noise with a gun. But anyway, but look, at the end of the day, when I do a bad joke, it's going to be the same, don't worry. I'm an equal opportunist. But what I was going to say was, so apparently a piece of its information is someone named Gia Vita, who is both autosexual and autoerotic. I don't know what the difference is there, but anyway. And no, I'm not looking for autoerotic. Google it yourself. Okay, I don't really want to. Gia became aware of her sexuality at the age of 7. No, she really didn't. Okay, I'm sorry. She's full of shit. After unlearning her preconceived notions about relationships and the idea that you have to be with another person for it to be valid, Gia wants to be normal. Gia wants to normalize autosexuality.
Oh, come on. You're 7. You didn't unlearn anything because you haven't learned anything yet. Oh, man. Frustrating.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm just trying to find a photo of what Gia looks like because at the moment, right now, I'm kind of hoping that she's some fat lesbian thing that probably wouldn't get mounted if she was a horse.
Well, to love yourself, you have to be gay. Obviously, that would have to be a thing.
Or at least attracted to the same sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about autosexuality. Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. We haven't read out comments, so we should probably do that. Democrats have to keep their base in fear. I've survived 1984, 2000, 2012, says 7. Yeah. Yes, the turn of the millennium was great for IT guys. Satellite, and I can tell you, I made so much money off the turn of the millennium. And I was trying to be honest about it too. Could it be the Democrats trying to lure the illegals into the vote, the Republicans out? Into vote, the Republicans out. Yeah, that's what we reckon it is, Graham. With the previous story he's talking about, we think it's actually the fact that the Democrats are trying to flood voters into the market so that they can actually vote out the Republicans to win the election. Republicans make America so great that we're irresistible. That's a very good point. 7 says Dems need more in their base. Win-win for illegals. That's true. Greg also then says, yes, we're absolutely organising the mass immigration. Oh, sorry, they're organising. Yeah. 7. One of the loneliest numbers is 1. And what is? Sorry, was it Audius? Who drowned himself staring at his reflection in water? Who's Adius? Adonis. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that like Greek mythology, is it?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But yeah. What are you going to say?
I do have a little intermission story, just something interesting.
Sure.
So apparently, Stream.me shut down everything yesterday, or well, in American terms, it would be not yesterday, the day before.
Right. Is it back up now?
I don't know. Just checked actually.
Stream.me, right?
Yeah, Stream.me.
I am not getting anything.
Yeah. So what I heard from Ralph while he was on a stream, the site had shut down out of the blue. They pulled the app as well from the store. They shut everything down completely, but apparently people who are subscribed are still got charged for the month.
Oof. Okay. I actually have a story on that.
Oh yeah.
I want to thank.
So they've gone back to YouTube and they were talking about it on there because of, the 3 months thing passed. But yeah, they just holy shit. I mean, and by the way, they took a bunch of callers who were streamers, and they're all just like outraged. And also, the guys all had contacts in the company, and nobody is replying.
Okay, so
like no one at the.
I've actually got that video.
Yeah.
So guys, let's talk about this because this is actually really interesting. Ralph shouldn't have a problem with us playing this clip, should he?
Nah, he doesn't.
All right.
He encourages people to upload his content, so because they're always shutting him down.
Do you want the link to this video?
No, it's okay. I know all about it. So.
Okay. Memology 101 for picking up the rights to the show here. Appreciate him having me on his channel. There are a lot of naysayers about that, of course. I am not one of them. He reached out to me and basically offered this, and I just want to say the man has Vince McMahon. What is it? The grapefruits? That's what he has for balls. This guy just no fucks given. It's unbelievable. Just going down as an all-time legend, no matter what happens. So I just want to thank him right off top. There was something else that I was supposed to do. Zidane, no, he's not dead. He's in China. I'm not sure if that qualifies. He'll be back on Monday. I am so sad he's not here. And Gator, I don't know what Gator's doing. I talked to him earlier. He'd probably be joining us here in a little while. Nick Ricada's going to be here soon as well. Dick Masterson's going to be here soon too. I can't think of, even though my good, the other 2/3 of the trio aren't here, those guys, that's pretty good. That's pretty good fill in. We're back on YouTube. I'm still kind of astonished. 2,300 people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. A lot of stuff happened today. Basically, they just completely deleted their site around 9:30 maybe? Something like that. Sometime this morning. And I saw a couple tweets. I was going around town running some errands. Of course, I moved in with Andy Worski here in Richmond. That's going to be a storyline coming up. We're going to Miami. We're doing all kinds of stuff.
Do you actually want to cover this? All right, guys, in chat, let me know. Do you want us to do a separate story about this? Or do you think we should keep going in this video and make this longer? Guys, let me know in chat what your thoughts are. While we're waiting for them to respond, what are your thoughts? Do you reckon we should cover this separately or do it all together?
I don't think there's enough content to cover it in a separate thing, although I guess if we're discussing it back and forth, yeah, we could probably talk for half an hour, and you know us. We have to stop ourselves, otherwise we turn these streams into 24-hour marathons.
True. All right, well, let's just keep going with it for now, and maybe... do you reckon Ralph will come on?
I have no idea. He does have a reputation for just going on people's shows, so probably.
Look, Ralph, if you... Guys, clip this and send it to him. Ralph, if you want to come on to this show, I know we're only a small show, man, but if you want to come on here and talk to us about everything that happened with Stream.me, YouTube, whatever, man, I've already invited you, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, so I'm going to invite you again. You are more than welcome to come on. Right? Fair, unbiased opinions. Gregor's grocery shopping, so he says keep going. Fair, unbiased, just wanting to know the facts. If you want to come onto a small channel that will literally give you a decent, fair shake, man, you are more than welcome to jump in, and you can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Minds, Gab, or email at admin@nonpartisanmedia.com. We would love to have you. I would love to talk to you about this because I find this interesting. But we'll keep going.
Yeah.
So we were out running errands, picking up stuff for the apartment, and I saw a couple tweets, and they said, stream me, I'm getting 403 or 404, whatever the hell it was. And I said, well, the site's kind of sketchy. Maybe it just, maybe it's just messing up. I really didn't pay too much attention to it. And then I saw that it was legit and that the site had been completely deleted. I didn't comment on it publicly. I don't think I've actually made a comment on it publicly besides to shoot down the one rumor that somehow it was all going to transfer over to Ice Poseidon's Scuff.com. Now, Streamy is running the tech for Scuff.com. They do have an investment with Ice Poseidon, but no, it's not all transferring over to him. I've heard nothing of the sort. That's just a wild rumor. So that's not happening. And the reason I waited is because I wanted to talk to some people there. I wanted to find out what was going on. And what was going on is there's a board on 8chan. They doxed the owners. Now, according to what I was told by the StreamMe staff, I don't actually frequent the board any longer, but they doxed the owners of StreamMe. They doxed their family. There were calls made to the owners saying, we know where your kids go to school, we know where they live, and they decided to pull the plug on the entire site. There's going to be a meeting on Wednesday, and there's a chance maybe it could come back, but as of now, I would put that at I put the chances of that at very slim. I don't think it's probably going to be back.
Whoa, okay.
Just based on how they not only.
So according to what Ralph is saying, and according to what he's reporting, he is saying that 8chan has doxed Stream.me, and that is why they've pulled the plug on this video platform.
Yeah. Now I knew about that, but I didn't want to ruin it early on. There you go. So that's when I saw you put that video up, I'm like, okay, I won't continue. I won't do a spoiler. So that's what's going on. Yes, and
so
it is
8chan's a part of 4chan though, right?
Correct.
Why is 8chan? I know 4chan is not right, alt-right, not all anyway. It's everybody and anybody. But why is 8chan doxing Stream.me?
You know what? I have no idea. The strangest thing, it is the strangest thing. But then again, a lot of these guys, you remember back when I was running my own Discord with a whole lot of these types of people. And the reason why I ran away and gave the Discord away and went into hiding in a way is because I figured out that these people have a massive problem with anything to do with anybody who has popularity. It doesn't matter if they're popular on the right or the left. They hate everyone equally. And when I figured out that what the lengths they're willing to go to hurt people, I want nothing to do with these people. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what they do. So it is really bizarre that they would take down StreamMe, but actually, when I think about it, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
See, this is the weird thing, because at the end of the day, with YouTube censoring everybody, right? And like I say, we don't know if it's the left or the right on 8chan. There are both people on there. You might know, but I don't know. But what I was going to say was, you know, if it was some far leftist that was hanging around on 8chan that maybe tried to make him look bad or something, or is this legitimately someone on the right that has literally just got a problem with Stream.me being too popular? Maybe they have a problem with Ralph. I know Ralph, isn't his wife an Asian or some sort of mixed?
Yeah, there's some drama that went on.
Is it that? Is it
there's some...
she's like a mixed race, or?
Yes, it's possible. So Nora is a mixed race, yes, half Asian.
Don't use her name, God's sake. Yeah. Anyway,
everyone knows her name. Everyone knows her name. That wasn't doxing.
I know. It's not.
He
doxing,
says her name on his stream.
Okay, yeah, just Mrs. Ralph. Let's just call her that. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Let's say it again. Sorry. Okay. There was a drama that went on between Ralph and the Coach Red Pill, right? Coach Red Pill started dragging on them, saying all kinds of crazy shit. Medicare has been doing Medicare in the morning, like every day. And I saw a video. I didn't click on it, so I have no idea what the context is. But a video came across my feed on YouTube saying something about Medicare is a liar or something horrible about that. I can't remember. I hope maybe it comes up on my feed again and I can watch it, find out what the hell. And then this happened with StreamMe. So I don't know, because to go after StreamMe, technically you're going after Ralph and Medicare because they're the only real big streamers. Yes, you're going to have a huge collateral damage of all these small streamers on there.
Alex Jones is on there, isn't he?
I don't think so. But what's the other guy? Jesse's on there too, though.
Jesse, the Black Republican.
Yeah, him. Yeah. He's on there too, and he recently went on there.
I also know that apparently Matt Christensen and stuff are on there as well. Actually, Matt Christensen is actually about to go live soon. So maybe he'll address it in this video today. I don't know. And this is what I've said to you, and I'll tell people now. I thought about actually making my own video platform like YouTube, but with a pro freedom of speech angle on it.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that I was actually worried about, was if I did that, would I be doxxed And would I have people calling and harassing my parents, for example, who are elderly? I don't care if people try and call and harass me. I can take it. I can just turn my freaking phone off. But, like my parents, man, they're like 70 something.
And they will.
Yeah.
They will go after you and everyone you love. They will. This is what happens. And, dude, this blindsided me, actually, to be honest, because I was really, really into thinking that Stream Me was going to be big. I thought it was going to do nothing but grow. And like recently with Matt Christensen going on there, Jesse going on there, Alex, I think he was thinking about it or getting on there soon. I thought it was going to blow up. And then this happened, and they struck it down so quick before it could get its feet underneath it,
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Like, this is not what we need, people. This is not what we need right now. We need platforms that will actually support freedom of speech. And I really do have to wonder why people are going after pro-freedom of speech platforms. That, to me, is counterproductive. And this is where I have a problem with the alt-right, for example. They might go on and harp on about freedom of speech now, but when you ask them, will you accept freedom of speech in your utopia, the answer is always no. And this is one where you and I have had a bit of a disagreement. I say to you, I get the argument that if you allow freedom of speech in your utopia, so to speak, that at the end of the day you can have people come through and subvert your course of your action, subvert your government, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, like, from someone who has literally had to fight tooth and nail just to have a freaking vote or a voice on YouTube, just to get views, it is infuriating that people who will sit there and claim freedom of speech will then turn around and screw over the same freedoms that they will justify now. But wait, now we're in power, now we can throw it out the fucking window. And that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah. The only other angle that I could see that makes sense with 8chan doing this is the acceleration thing.
Oh god, that stupid theory. Yeah. How's that working out? Like,
well, the acceleration thing, it works out badly because that's how it's supposed to work by design. It's taking down every angle that the right has that doesn't want to, in their view, see the light. They just want to burn everything to the ground and accelerate everything into a violent outcome.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're gambling on the fact that you can turn it around.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bloody big gamble, man. You got a 50-50 chance. You're literally gambling 50-50 that you can save your civilization by burning it all to the ground. To me, I think what Sim Pool has done on Joe Rogan has done a lot more to raise awareness than this frigging accelerationism does. So... Yeah,
exactly. I've argued at length with accelerationists, and you've been there in some of those arguments. And sure, they're convincing to some degree. They can sound very convincing if you get there. The evidence shows that they would win the war, and then the outcome would be utopia.
No, the evidence isn't there.
Well, look, the other day, and you agreed that three quarters of the guns are in the hands of the conservatives.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, when it comes to at a civil level, I mean, the evidence is there that the conservative viewpoint would come out of that.
If the conservatives turned around and started shooting all the progressives, and we're not wanting this, of course, it's a thought experience, YouTube. But I was going to say, if that started happening, what do you think would actually happen? Do you think the police department and the government would sit there and go, well, they kind of asked for it? Or do you think at the end of the day, the police department and the government and everything would bring in martial law, take everybody's frigging guns away, and then all of a sudden we're living in 1984?
Well, to be honest, the way that it almost always occurs is that whenever the Antifa types go out and start shit, the conservatives just sit tight at home and wait it out.
Yes.
Like, that's what's always happened.
But you're not talking about that.
Well, what I am thinking is that when it sparks off, it's going to be the Antifa types who shoot the first bullet. The thing is that I argued at length with these type of people, telling them that it doesn't matter who starts it. The military is going to end it, and they don't give a shit which side they're shooting at. If you've got a gun and you're a civilian and you're shooting at people, they're going to shoot you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in which case, guess who has the higher death toll? Guess what? The people that are shooting at people that have more of the guns, the conservatives. They're the ones that are going to get more of the bullets.
Look, I played a lot of StarCraft, okay? And if it was a 3-player free-for-all, okay, one of my favorite tactics was to sit back. When the other two engage each other, I then come in on the flank and kill them both easily while they're shooting at each other. The military is...
We should have a StarCraft night one night, yeah. Anyway, keep going.
You like StarCraft? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that at the end of the day, it's not going to end well. The deep state is the one that's going to be victorious, I believe. And by the way, you've seen the fields of coffin liners. So, I mean, it's almost like they know it's going to happen.
Yeah. But anyway, I never even heard about Stream.me going down. This is really bad. And like,
I was a little late to the party myself.
Yeah, and look, I'll start recording on this part. So I'm just going to say it again, and I'm recording so I can upload it separate. Ralph, if you want to come onto this small channel and have a honest opinion or an honest, non-biased opinion, talking to you about the kill stream, the banning off YouTube, Stream.me going down, anything like that, mate, you are more than welcome to come on this stream. Okay, I know I'm only a small channel, but at the end of the day, Ralph, if you want to come on here, man, we will give you a fair and decent conversation. And that's all I can really ask on that. And I think that's fair enough. But anyway.
Yep, sounds good.
As for stream...
Title it A Message to Ethe and Ralph.
Yeah, well. And look, at the end of the day, as for Stream.me, I didn't even know about this. This is really kind of, kind of...
This is bad.
Yeah.
Now, the alternative is D Live, and apparently that's a shithole.
I would like to talk to Ethan about who went after him on 8chan and what exactly happened on that.
If you want, I can look it up a bit after the show.
Sure.
We'll talk about it. But you're not going to stick around after the show, are you?
No, I've got to start work this afternoon, so I've got 7 hours before I have to go to work, and I haven't been to bed yet. So yeah. But anyway, let's keep going. So Pac-Man Jones to police. F you, suck my something or rather crackers. Adam Pac-Man Jones was always known for being able to supply the good quotes during his playing days. Although it appears the former clinically, I'm getting that name wrong. CINNATI? I don't know. Might have saved his most colourful quote for the offensive trip to the casino. However, Jones was arrested on February 27th during an altercation with police in Indiana casino. However, when he said to the arresting officers after they tackled him while trying to escape, is making even more headlines. So, first of all, officials say Indiana Gaming Commission enforcement agents responded to Jones after he was suspected of capping bets, which is shop talk for adding more chips to a bet after you know the outcome of the game. Jones didn't take kindly to the allegations, telling multiple officers "F you," while moving his hand in a threatening manner and gesturing with his middle finger, according to the court docs. During the altercation, IGCE agent Christopher Knoll said Jones turned to another IGCE agent and told him, "I will kill you. I will whoop your ass." Norton says Jones continued to act in a threatening manner as he subdued the NFL player, admitting and placed him in his handcuffs. It was then Norton said he smelt booze and Ron Packman. Jones continued to verbally harass the arresting officers as he was led away. However, according to TMZ, things were about to get even crazier. While the agents were handing Jones over to Arroyo County Sheriff's Department, Jones managed to break out of custody and tried to make a run for it, but he was immediately subdued by officers. After he was recaptured, Jones continued to cuss out the officers, saying, "F you, suck my something or other, male genitalia, you're a bunch of crackers." Another officer claims Jones also said, "Suck my thing or other," and with the N-word as well. So his colourful language, and not a tad bit racist, calling white police officers crackers or anything like that, of course. I'm presuming they were right. Jones was hit with a litany of charges stemming from this incident, including felony imitation, felony battery against an officer, other charges, all misdemeanors, including cheating at gambling, resisting law enforcement at public intoxication. So, thoughts and opinions on a black man going on and calling a white police officer cracker?
He's a racist.
Michael Jackson's songs banned from New Zealand Canadian radio. So Michael Jackson, once the king of pop, has been banned from the radio stations as the backlash against the latest allegations begin. Radio stations around the world have banned Michael Jackson's songs from their playlist after allegations of the superstar singer abused children were aired in the controversial Leaving Neverland documentary. The Thriller singer faced allegations from the Leaving Neverland documentary that he groomed young children, even carrying out fake wedding ceremonies with 10-year-old boy. New Zealand state broadcaster RNZ was joined by the commercial rivals in ripping Jackson from the airwaves, although for how long has not been determined. MediaWorks, which owns about half the commercial stations in this country, said that ban was a reflection of our audiences and their preferences. Apparently, 3 major Canadian radio stations have Jackson. Now, as for this Leaving Neverland documentary, my understanding is a lot of these allegations have actually been already debunked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was watching a video about this about a month ago when this first all was coming out, that they were going to do a documentary on it because, you know, media leaks like a sieve. And they were saying that a lot of the allegations that are in this documentary have not only already gone to trial, but a lot of them were already debunked. That a lot of the situations where people were going through, one of the guys was, they believe, was trying to get money. He made these allegations and then received a payment from Michael and then actually recanted the story or something along those lines. But yeah, basically from my understanding, every one of these allegations, from my understanding anyway, has been recanted, and that there's nothing to these allegations, that it's old news that people tried when Michael was alive.
Yeah.
And I find it very, very interesting that they're going after a dead man because, well, I suppose a dead man can't go through and a dead man can't defend himself, I suppose. But yeah, I find it very interesting that these sort of documentaries are coming out now, and you know, he's been dead for how long? what, 2 years, 3 years? How long's Michael been dead for? Yeah. All right. Democrats bar Fox from hosting primary candidate debates. The Democratic Party said Wednesday that it will not allow Fox News to host any of its primary candidate debates after publishing revelations suggested the network is a propaganda vehicle for President Trump. Because, you know, they weren't a propaganda vehicle for Obama or anything like that, of course. The National Committee, or the DNC chairman, Tom Perez, said in a story this week that the New Yorker's magazine on the White House's apparent close relationship with the channel prompted the decision. Didn't mainstream media have a close reaction or a close relationship with Obama? Just to be clear, Fox News will not serve as a media partner for the 2020 Democratic primary debates, Perez said on Twitter. I find this absolutely disgusting.
Huh. Yeah.
Like, they're literally silencing the media. The Democrats want to go on about Trump, you know, being a journalist and everything like that. Here they literally are trying to silence the media.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
I don't know if Fox News can challenge this. I don't know if Fox News can do anything to fight
No, you
this.
can't. Yeah. No, yeah, you can't, you know, tie people up and drag them into a studio and get them to debate, you know.
Well, no, I think it's more a case of at the end of the day. Oh, okay, so I'm getting buffering. I've just started getting buffering.
Yeah, it is happening, yeah.
Now that I've just started talking about this is interesting. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was going to say, yeah, we're about to wrap up anyway. It's the second last story. Oh, shit, no, there's about 3 or 4 more, actually. But yeah, I was going to say, at the end of the day, I find it very interesting that Fox News has been barred from these debates. You know, it kind of makes you wonder if they're stopping them from getting the raw footage.
Yeah, but then Fox News can still talk about it. They might even be able to, I don't know,
what clips
tune into the other station and restream it.
Well, what clips are they going to use? They're going to use the clips that have been edited. Maybe that's the angle.
It is a bad hit. For Fox News, I suppose.
MSNBC. So they have wrote Trump's APAC appearance showed how popular he is with the Republicans' base. So I'm going to play this.
Basking in the flow of his most ardent support.
I'm going to mute this because copyright and everything like that. But here it is on MSNBC. They're literally going on about Trump's approval rating. At the moment, Trump's approval rating, according to them, and not a Gallup poll, mind you, is around 46%, which I think is low. I think it's actually higher than that. But if you actually go through and have a look at his approval rating through Republicans, it's actually around 80%. So, yeah.
Yeah, among Republicans, it's very high.
Yeah.
Among the others, it's like, you know, low 30s, 40s. But if you do an unbiased poll, it's around 51% is what I heard.
Yeah, I heard it's around 50-something%, yeah. Greg says in chat, wouldn't that be soliciting a prostitute? Lol. Don't know what he's talking about there. Is he talking about the Democrats, maybe?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
yeah.
when I saw that come up after I mentioned tying people up and bringing them in. So I don't know. Maybe that's. I'm not sure.
What kind of prostitutes do you get, Greg? Let me know. But like I say, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, he goes on kinky.com. But look, I say, look, at the end of the day, as for Trump's obviously approval rating, as far as I know, it's around the 50-something%, 51%, 52%. So he's actually doing really, really well. And at the end of the day, you can literally tell it's triggering them because they're triggered in this whole video. This whole video is them triggered to the freaking hilt. It really, really is. It's kind of funny actually to watch because they lose their shit. Yeah. But anyway, let's keep going. Trump fulfills terminally ill man's dying wish with a phone call. So President Trump and Eric Trump fulfilled a terminally ill Connecticut man's dying wish with a phone call on Tuesday evening. All it took was for a little help from the man's sister, an elected Democrat. The 44-year-old Jay Barrett of West Haven, who has cystic fibrosis, left hospital to begin palliative care at a sister's home last weekend and asked for some sort of contact with the president before he dies. His sister, West Haven City Councilwoman Bridget Hossey, who describes herself as 100% Democrat, went on social media to help make it happen. Other supporters sent emails to the White House and its online petition system. The efforts paid off Tuesday night with Barrett receiving a surprise call from Trump. According to Barrett, Hotsky handed him the phone and he heard an unmistakable greeting. I'm the Secretary President of the United States. Do you have time to talk? So Barrett was ecstatic. All right, Jay, you look handsome to me. I just saw a photo of you. Trump began in a video call of the posted to YouTube. Kind of nice. I like the fact that Trump does this sort of stuff.
That is really cool. Yeah.
Barrett responded, "Oh, you're giving me honors. I look like shit." That prompted Trump to laugh and ask, "How you doing? How's it going, Jay? You're a champ. You're fighting it, right? That's what the Irish do, right?" Barrett answered. "Yeah, that's what the Irish do. You better believe it," Trump said. That's kind of sweet. I like the fact the president does this sort of stuff. All right. Third last story.
One sec.
Yeah.
I do have one funny thing. So this is on one end of the spectrum. There's another. If you want to bring it up on the screen, it's up to you. There are these old people. There's a story about these really old people. They're like in their 80s and 90s. Apparently, they want to hang on and not die. They want to see what happens with Trump. Like they want to ride out the story before they die. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Winchester acid attack. Father guilty of strike on son 3. So a father has been found guilty of organising an acid attack on his 3-year-old son. The boy suffered burns to his face and arms in the attack at the Home Begins store in Westchester in July last year. Prosecutors said the man, 40, had enlisted others to bid a manufacture evidence to discredit the estranged wife during a custody battle. Following 6-week trial at Westchester County Court, jurors also convicted 5 other men of involvement in the plot. I'm going to post a link. You tell me if you think these guys are typical white UK people.
Let's see. Did you put it in general or live show?
Live show.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't see them. They're covered.
Oh, no. Scroll down. Sorry. It's in the article.
Oh.
Scroll down. There's
in the article.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. No. These do not look like European people.
Interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to push back on this whole narrative. He did it to discredit the wife during a custody battle. I don't think that's true. I think that's a load of crap. What I think happened was that he was going to lose the kids in a custody battle, and he cracked the shits, and he wanted to hurt the children to hurt the wife.
Yeah, and that doesn't work with their religion because it's meant to be the other way around. Yeah.
Gotta go. See you, Greg. Thanks for calling in, man. We're about to wrap up here anyway, so thank you very much. Stay tuned. We might try and get Ralph on the show. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep charging through because I really want to go to bed. Man harassing little mum on her doorstep, knocked out cold when her son comes home. So, a man accused of harassing a sick woman on her own doorstep has been knocked out with a single punch when her burly son arrived home from football practice. By the way, this guy is definitely white. This football kid that knocked the guy out, definitely the UK lad. The man accused of a small child is sat close to the front door on a plastic chair as her grandmother was wearing a fluffy dressing gown. Can be seen to two men walking wear baseball caps. One of the men accused of harassing the woman who's accused of her son has flamboyage. A footage was shown. The woman's son arrives home in a white car, jumps, leaving the passenger door wide open while she shouts at the men. The men started shouting at each other, with the son demanding the baseball cap wearer gets off his garden. The seconds later, the son storms in, punches the man hard, knocking him to the ground. He was heard saying, "I'm not having it. You don't talk to my mum like that." Good on you, son. Good on ya. Yeah. Holy shit, he did knock him out cold, didn't he? There's a photo of him laying on the floor. Yeah. Good on you. Good on you, man. Good on you, lad. And look, the other guys had to drag his old mother. Wait, he's had to drag his other mate away. Good on you for sticking up for your mum. All right.
Yeah.
And the last story for the day: billionaire diamond trader 65 dies during penis enlargement surgery at a private Paris clinic. Are you sure you really want to right now, Greg? Because this might be the best story of all. A billionaire diamond trader has died after suffering a heart attack during a penis enlargement operation in Paris. Ilhan Leonardo, 65, was an unidentified private clinic on the Avenue des Champs-Élysées in the French capital on Saturday when complications during surgery proved fatal. The experienced diamond experts... Holy shit. The experienced diamond expert's heart attack happened when the substance was injected into his penis, Belgium media reports. Mr. Lamado's company, Omega Diamonds, which is based in the Belgian city of Antwerp, confirmed his passing. A statement from the firm said, "Farewell to a visionary businessman. It was great sadness that we confirm our founder, Leonardo, has passed away." A friend of Mr. Lavado's, who wished to remain anonymous, said he was always focusing on his appearance and how others perceived him. The Argentinian that was used to call him at Omega Diamonds because he looked like the tango dancer. According to Mr. Labando's friend, the only time he forgot about his short height was when he was asked his account to read out his bank statement, something which he did multiple times a day. He seems like he was pretty self-obsessed. And apparently has a small penis.
He was, he was short.
In both areas.
So, yeah, it seems so. When the substance was injected is when he died. I wonder if they did a proper test to make sure that he wouldn't have an allergic reaction, because that's what it sounds like, anaphylactic shock.
I don't know. I don't have much experience with penis enlargement surgery.
Yeah, but you know, like you get stung by a bee, you can have anaphylactic shock because of an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
It sounds like the substance gave him an anaphylactic shock. And at that age,
Maybe he should just got a bee to sting him on the dick a whole bunch of times. It would have got bigger.
Oh boy.
We're going back to the anthill, people. Alright, my internet's starting to play up, so I probably should get it off. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on with it. But look, at the end of the day, so yeah, apparently billionaire diamond trader dies after trying to get a penis enlargement.
Yeah, jeez, even a billionaire can die from penis enlargement surgery.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
There's other ways he could have gone, I suppose. Probably better ways. You know, he had all this money. He could have died of a heart attack riding a hooker. But I suppose I don't. I have no idea.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have enjoyed it, so you know.
Well, you know, these customers always come first. Alright, on that note, I'm going home. And I don't know, I'm going home. I'm going to bed. Alright, guys, apart from that, obviously if you like this show, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. We're going to try and reach out to Ralph. We'll try and get him on the show. I don't know if he will or not, but we'll try. Apart from that, guys, obviously if you like this thing, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to post it all over Reddit. Help me become rich and famous, so to speak. And who knows, maybe we can change the world. Apart from that, Satellite, thank you for joining us, eventually, gracefully.
No worries.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if I should be... So this is what I'm thinking. Like, I started earlier today, and the internet was fine. So maybe it's bad timing on the internet. Maybe it's like peak traffic or something, and it's killing the internet.
Yeah, there's two peak periods, I think. Yeah.
Like it is only what? Yeah, it's only midday sort of thing. So maybe it's that. I don't know. Anyway, guys, apart from that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Satellite, thank you for joining us. Everybody who joined in and jumped in,
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Just before we go, Greg says good show before he left. And he missed the penis and